Looking for luxury cigar accessories and apparel? Then look no further than cigarmony.com. From cutters to lighters, humidor stash trays, humidification devices to apparel, cigarmony.com carries it all. Hello everybody and welcome to another cigar review here at StogieReview.com. I'm Justin Holman. Today I'm going to review for you a cigar that I have never had. This is the Carlos Torano Reserva Selecta. This particular cigar here, as you notice, it does come in a glass tube. This particular one is their Churchill tube. Let me grab the exact info here. I'm sorry, this is the torpedo because it's got a little point on the end which you'll be able to see once I take it out of the glass tube here. This cigar is 6 and a quarter inch long with a 52-inch ring gauge. The tobacco in this cigar has been aged anywhere from 3 to 5 years. Its wrapper is a Connecticut shade and Costa Rican broadleaf. The binder is Indonesian, and the filler is Dominican Republic, Honduran, and Nicaraguan. So this should be a pretty interesting cigar to smoke here. Let's go ahead and get it out of the tube. I've had this cigar sit in the humidor for probably about 2 to 3 weeks, I think. I paid, I think it was $7 or $8 for it. Smells really good. There's actually also a piece of cedar in the tube. Now these tubes are good to hang on to in case you want to travel with a cigar that doesn't have any kind of wrapper on it. And you just stick it back in the tube and you have a nice protection for it. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at this. It's got a beautiful dark wrapper on it. It's got a kind of just a general tobacco odor to it. Don't get anything right offhand on the foot. I guess if I had to characterize it, maybe a little cocoa coffee. Okay, well, enough of that. Let's go ahead and light it up. So being it is a torpedo, I'm going to use my guillotine cutter. Pre-light draw is good. Real good, easy airflow. Go ahead and light this bad boy up here. I should get this up on the camera. I got a nice comment from a guy in Portugal, and I just butchered his first name, so I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce it, but one thing he said he missed was the lighting and cutting of the cigar, so, and I noticed that Walt does that in his and gets pretty good feedback on that, so I'm going to go ahead and start to do that some more. Easy draw on that, like I said before. My beverages tonight is my glass of water and my favorite, the good old Irish Gold here, nice pint of Guinness. I figure the richness of the Guinness would complement a nice Maduro cigar. Definitely picking up the sweetness of the Maduro. It's definitely got the I guess kind of standard cocoa coffee flavor to it from the Maduro. Volume of smoke is outstanding. Again, based on my, well, actually it'd be excellent because my system I kind of like to use is average, average, good, and excellent. So, volume of smoke in this is definitely excellent. Burn on here is a good to excellent right now. And if you wanted to assign a numeric value, you could do a 3 for excellent in the volume smoke, excuse me, and probably a 2.5 for the burn. But as some of you may know, I'm not a big fan of a numbering system on cigars. I think it's too subjective on what you're feeling. So things that I'm trying to rate it on are things that it's kind of standard across any kind of cigar. What's the volume of smoke? What's the burn like on the cigar? What's the ash look like? Those are things that should be pretty standard across the cigar and how it functions. Obviously, the flavor and the taste are going to be subjected to the cigar smoker. Also, the appearance of the cigar. I would rate this one as excellent because I don't know how well this will come out, but the wrapper on this is pristine. There's absolutely no imperfections that I can see at all. It's got a beautiful band on here, the Carlos Torano logo, and then the Reserva Selecta. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and smoke a little bit of this, see what kind of flavors I can pick up, and check back with you shortly. You drove me to drink. Hey.
Children, my lovers, my wife, greedy for the good things as well.
Hey everybody, welcome back. I've been smoking my Carlos Torano Reserva Selecta now for about 40 minutes. The burn, as you can see, is still a good to excellent burn quality on this particular cigar, which I'm very happy with. The only flavor that I'm really picking up is a nice deep cocoa. Let me see if there's anything else I can pick up right now. Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm getting. Try a little bit of Guinness and see what happens here. That's good stuff. If you've never tried a Guinness, give it a shot. It's a nice thick beer. It's actually a stout. As you can tell, it's fairly thick. It's dark. It's got a real good kind of well, a lot of people describe it as kind of a coffee flavor to it, but it's a good beer. If you're kind of used to drinking a light beer, it's going to definitely be a change of pace. But hey, give it a shot. You might like it. And when it comes to a pint of Guinness, I'm kind of a priss. I'm going to make sure that it's poured correctly, which sounds weird, but with the Guinness and the stout beer, that if it's not poured correctly, it can actually affect the flavor in a negative way, kind of the same way as lighting your cigar. So whenever I order one, I'm always watching the bar keep to see how they're pouring the pint of Guinness. A lot of times they just take the glass, put it under the tapper, and just pour it like a cheap beer and all the way up and give it to you. And that is not how you pour Guinness. But we don't want to get me started on that kind of rant. Just real quick, for those of you who've never seen how to properly pour Guinness, you hold the glass at a 45-degree angle, put the spout just about on the glass, probably half an inch to an inch above it, fill it 3/4 of the way, set it down, wait until the beer settles. You'll see it turn from kind of a milk, chocolate kind of color to the dark color. And when it's done, you take the tap and put it again a half inch to an inch on top of the foam and just slowly bring the glass down as you finish pouring and let it sit down. And it takes about 92 seconds to pour the perfect pint of Guinness. Obviously, it's not a beer review, but hey, that's just how I like my pints. I actually got to show a bartender how to do it once too. That was kind of cool. Girlfriend thought I was a little crazy, but hey, it's all about having fun in life, right? So this Torano, I'm really enjoying it. I enjoy the good cocoa flavor on it. I was expecting maybe a little bit more, but certainly not disappointed in it at all. Haven't smoked a whole lot of Torano cigars, but every time I have, they've always been good. I've never been disappointed in any of them, and this is definitely going along the lines of the same thing with zero disappointment. Excuse me. You know, things important to me are the construction of the cigar, the flavor of the cigar, and and the amount of smoke I get from the cigar. And this one is doing great on all of them. For those of you who have not yet heard about the insane tobacco tax hike that they want to do, check it out on our website. I did a post, I believe I call it like crazy potential tobacco hike or tobacco tax increase. And basically they want to raise the limit on the cap on the wholesale tax on a cigar. Right now, your local tobacconist or your tobacconist in general would pay a cap of 5 cents per cigar on the wholesale side, which is about 20%. So a nickel per cigar is really nothing. What they want to do is raise that cap to about 53%, or I'm sorry, raise the tax rate to 53% and have a maximum cap of up to $10. Some people think it's going to be $10 period, but it's an up to cap. So, which that means is a typical $5 cigar, after all the taxes, would probably cost you anywhere from $7.50 close to $8. The price of a box of cigars could potentially double, or at least go up 50%. So, it's really ridiculous. The reasons behind this, they want to fund a healthcare program that they currently use the tobacco tax for. They get like $5 billion a year. And with this, they want to try to get up to $20 to $25 billion a year by taxing our cigars. They want to increase the tax rate on a pack of cigarettes an additional 61 cents to bring it to an even dollar. So obviously, that's a little more bearable to handle than potentially $10 per cigar, depending on, of course, the cost. I believe you have to pay around $20 now for a stick to reach about that $10 cap. So it's just ridiculous. Everyone in the industry is trying to get the word out. You've probably received some emails from Zycar or JR, Famous Smoke sent one. I think Cigars International sent one. There's pretty much all of them. It's all over the board. So check it out. Contact your senator. Tell them do not support this ridiculous bill, as this will put out a lot of your local merchants will go out of business. The accessory manufacturers will sell less. It's going to harm people in the Dominican, Honduras, Nicaragua, because there's going to be less of a demand for cigars, so they're going to have to lose jobs and, potentially damage those industries there and the economies of those places. So it's bad all around. So just wanted to make sure everyone was aware of that. And then the other thing they want to do is whatever inventory a tobacconist has as of January 1st, they want them to pay back tax on that. So that could be potentially devastating to the local shops, because as we know, most of them are what we consider mom and pop operations, or it's just a single or co-owners, and they're just doing it for the love of cigars. And this kind of crazy tax, which would be due by April 15th, would just absolutely kill them. So make sure your senators know you do not support this at all. Also, big congratulations to Jerry and his wife. She finally had their little baby boy, and they're doing great. I'm not sure when we're hear from Jerry, because obviously he's busy with the new baby, but I'm sure he'll be back soon to give us an update on how his baby boy is doing and how fatherhood's going. So, Yeah, I say that the Guinness didn't have any negative effect, but it also didn't increase the flavors that I'm noticing on this cigar. Again, just pretty much a cocoa flavor. I probably got another 20 minutes or so on this cigar. So I'm going to go ahead and continue smoking more of my Torano, and we will check back for some final thoughts. And I'm going back to listen to my Matt Dusk.
2 shots of happy, 1 shot of sad.
Alright, welcome back once again. As you can see, my cigar is pretty much hitting the end of it. I'm going to go ahead and remove the band. I didn't pick up any other flavors besides cocoa on this one. Like I said before, I thought there would be a little bit more, but it was an enjoyable flavor. It wasn't as rich of a Maduro as some of the other ones are, but overall it's definitely a good cigar. My burn is definitely excellent on this one. I didn't have any issues at all. I had a really good ash. Actually, the first time I ashed it, I probably had a good 2 inches of ash on this, and I was trying to save it so I could show you guys, but kind of knocked it off. It happens. Oh, excuse me. Total smoking time on this has been, about 70 minutes, which is, I'd say, a good burn time for this size of the cigar. It's not getting very hot near the end. It's not getting very bitter either. But there's also not a whole lot of other flavors. It seems to be a very simple cigar as far as the flavor goes. I did enjoy it. You know, for a $7 to $8 cigar here in Vegas, it's I think the value and price are in line. Although I could definitely see it probably being around 6. Our tax rate here is 30%, so chances are lower tax rates, you're probably going to pay around the $6 range for it. It does come in boxes of 20, and according to their website, they also do boxes of 5 on this too. So if you get a chance to try one of these, pick it up. You won't be disappointed, as long as you're not looking for a whole lot of complex flavors. If you're looking for a Maduro that's going to be consistent on the flavor, consistent on the burn, produce a good volume of smoke, then this is definitely the cigar that you want to pick up. All the Torano products I had, as I've mentioned before, are great cigars. Haven't had a bad one yet. And still continuing on that, I can't even think of the word, on that streak of good cigars from the Torano family. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and end my review of the Carlos Torano Reserva Selecta. Try it. I recommend it. So for StogieReview.com, I'm Justin Holman. Until next time.